Hi everyone, this is Bryn. Today we're looking at the GoPro LCD Touch BacPac. By adding the backpack to GoPro cameras that don't have a built-in touch display, it allows you to frame your shots using the live preview, and you can also easily control settings by using the touch screen. It's suitable for use with all model GoPro HERO3 and HERO3 Plus cameras, as well as the HERO4 Black Edition camera. Let's take it out of the box and see what you get. First up, there's the LCD Touch BacPac itself. It comes with a sheet of clear film protecting the screen. Note that the film does reduce the touch sensitivity slightly, so you should remove it when you're ready. There's a protective case to store the backpack in when you're not using it. A nice touch is that the case has holders for both a micro SD card and an SD card adapter. There's a thumb screw and a short straight extension piece, which allows for a greater range of pivot for the housing when attaching the camera to some mounts. You get some paperwork. There's a product and safety information guide. There's a card that recommends checking the GoPro website for any firmware updates. And another card that suggests downloading the user manual to learn more about using the product. And lastly, there's 3 different back doors that you can use with the LCD Touch BacPac. Note, all 3 back doors will fit the standard housing, which means HERO4 and HERO3 Plus, but not the older and larger HERO3 housing. The backpack will still work with the HERO3 camera, but you may need to buy a separate standard housing for the camera. Firstly, there's the touch back door, which has a soft plastic back which works with touch and slide gestures. It's only waterproof down to 3 meters, which means that while it's not suitable for scuba diving, it can be used with most other surface or shallow water-based activities. It should be noted that touch and slide gestures do not work underwater anyway. Secondly, there's a waterproof back door. It has a hard plastic back, and while you can't use the touchscreen through the plastic, you can access playback via the side button and a combination of the other buttons on the camera to change settings while also previewing with the screen on the back. It makes this back door suitable for all water-based activities, including scuba diving down to 40 meters. Lastly, there's a skeleton back door, which obviously is non-waterproof, but allows for better audio in dry and dirt and dust-free conditions. The open back gives clear access to the touchscreen. Looking at the back of the Touch BacPac, you can see the connector that goes into the port on the back of the camera. This hook goes into the groove here, and then simply press the connector in. On this side there's a built-in speaker, and below that is a 3.5mm headphone jack. That allows you to plug in earphones for easier listening in noisy environments. When you power the camera on, the LCD screen will automatically turn on. Note that the LCD BacPac does not have its own source of power and draws from the battery in the camera itself. So once you've changed settings, lined up your shot and started recording, you can turn the screen off to save battery life. To do this, simply press and hold the button on the side of the backpack. Note that the camera is still recording. You can also set up the screen to go into sleep mode after 1, 2 or 3 minutes, or never. The default is 60 seconds. To turn the screen back on, give the side button a quick press. If I stop recording, you can see that a quick press of the side button puts the BacPac into playback mode. You can now access and playback recorded files. You can also delete unwanted files by pressing the trash can icon. If you press this icon, you will go back to all files and you can scroll and choose whatever file you want to play back. With the HERO4 camera, if you have the latest firmware, you can also choose recordings to trim and make shorter files. Press the scissors icon and select either 5 seconds, 15 seconds or a 30-second clip. You can even create a still from your video. Clip and Save is excellent for uploading to various social media sites, especially Instagram or Facebook. You can now play back your trimmed clip to make sure it's right. If you press the play icon at the bottom of the touchscreen, you can play back all your files one after another. When you're finished, press the stop icon, then the data icon, and then exit to go out of playback mode. When you turn on the camera and you use the touchscreen first instead of the side button, you'll find that the screen is locked. This is to prevent activating the touchscreen by accident. To unlock the screen, simply touch the screen and then drag the orange circle down to the lock icon. To access playback through the touchscreen instead of using the side button, simply slide your finger from left to right across the screen. You can quickly scroll through recordings by touching the left and right arrows. To exit playback mode, simply press the X at the bottom. If you swipe from right to left, you can access video, photo and multi-shot modes. This is the touch equivalent of pressing the power mode button on the front of the camera. If you go into setup, you can access all the settings that you would normally find in the setup menu. To go out, scroll back to the top and press exit. Lastly, swiping up the screen takes you into settings, which in the HERO4 is the equivalent of pressing the side button on the camera, where you can make changes to modes, resolutions, frame rates, field of view, low light, spot meter and also Pro Tune. Again, when you've made all the changes you want, scroll back to the top and press Exit to go out of settings. Now let's take a look at a few examples of using the LCD Touch BacPac. For people like me who need reading glasses to see small print, it can be difficult at times to see the writing and icons on the front LCD screen of GoPro Hero cameras. This can be even more difficult in low light situations or when there's a lot of glare like outside in bright sunlight. But with the LCD Touch BacPac, the writing is a decent size and I can easily see the display in sunlight without glasses to make changes and line up the camera. Here I am setting up for a time-lapse sequence. Once I've done that, I can move the camera around and use the display to make sure that the shot is framed correctly. You can also use the display to make sure that things that you don't want on screen are out of camera shot. Here I'm setting up for a drive lapse video, and in this case I want to make sure that I can't see the bonnet of my car. That saves me having to crop that out later, and I can maintain the fullest shot possible. I love using night lapse mode in the GoPro HERO4. When setting up for night lapses, if I use the touch display, I can easily change settings in the dark without needing glasses or a torch. If you leave the display running, it will dramatically reduce your battery life. So after setting up the camera, don't forget to either turn off the display or have sleep mode enabled. Of course, when shooting night lapses, it helps to also plug in an external power bank to give yourself all the power you need for a full night session. Check out this weird ghostly puff of steam that appears in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And yep, that's the moon in the sky, not the sun. If you look closely, you can see a kangaroo having a midnight feed of grass in my backyard. Another situation where glare is a problem is at the snow. You can't actually see the BacPac's LCD screen here due to the angle that I filmed this at, but I could see it plain as day. These are just a few examples of using the Touch BacPac. To sum up, I think the GoPro LCD Touch BacPac is an awesome accessory. Besides using the BacPac to quickly line up your shots and change camera settings, you can also preview photos and playback video. If you'd like more information about the GoPro LCD Touch BacPac, or you're ready to buy one, I've included links in the description. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. If you haven't done so already, why not subscribe to Brynmag Productions to be notified when we upload new videos. And if you like, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Google+. Until next time, this is Bryn. Thanks for watching.